about your decision and what the DPS director said.
How's it going?
Good, I'm Pete. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
I
you.
want to talk to you about the decision and what
Department we're doing, but just to let y'all know, and I just spoke with.
I know you did. But
You're not blocking me, are you?
No. Turn this way.
No, just so you all know. Just so you all know, obviously, we're not going to release anything. We have people in our community being buried, so we're going to be respectful.
I just want your reaction
we're going to be
the director McGraw saying that you were responsible for the decision to go into that room. How do you explain yourself to the
We're going to be respectful to the family.
I understand that, but you have an opportunity to explain yourself to the parents.
And just so you know, we're going to do that eventually, obviously. And whenever this is done, we'll let the families quit grieving, then we'll do that, obviously. And just so everybody knows, we've been in contact with DPS every day, just so you all know.
They say that you're not cooperating.
I've been on the phone with them every day.
They say you're not cooperating. So just 2 seconds.
Just so you know, we've been talking to them every day.
What is your reaction?
Y'all have a good day.
What is your reaction, sir?
That's Uvalde School District Police Chief Peter Arredondo not answering questions, at least not really wanting to, because of all of the information that's coming out from the police response on that day when the school was shot up down there, and the delays and the knowledge of what's going on and the lack of response time. Everyone's on their backs for it, so of course he doesn't want to answer about it. That's what triggers this, which I thought maybe it's not an obscure law. I'd like to see if other states have this as well, and it worries some people that they might be able to employ this to avoid even giving the public details. Yes, that's possible. Let's look at this, because there's, in the state of Texas, there's this unique law that could prevent them from doing this, and this is from 1997. And an Austin Statesman investigative reporter named Tony Plohetski, he went on a Twitter thread to describe what goes down. Let's check this out. So there's a public release of videos, 911 calls, and other evidence from the Uvalde shooting could provide the most accurate account of that terrible day. But there are obstacles that we Texas journalists often call the quote, dead suspect loophole that could get in the way. He continues on. Under state law, police agencies may hide an investigative file unless a person is convicted. Over the years, journalists have revealed cases where stunningly, families could not learn circumstances of a loved one dying in police custody because he was never convicted. The law leaves the decision to release to the police. At times, I've been able to convince the police to release information, as was the case in 2020 with reporting Javier Ambler II's death. More often, agencies cite this provision as a reason to withhold evidence from the public. We do not yet know how police will respond to the request for information from dozens of media outlets in Texas and nationally seeking information in Uvalde. We can only hope that they will be transparent and that our lawmakers will pass legislation that will end this loophole. So again, in case you guys missed it, this loophole, which is journalists call it this, the dead suspect loophole. If someone that is committing this crime, maybe violently like this, and dies at the hands of police or in the middle of the scene, they do not have to release the information about what was happening there because the suspect is dead. They've been trying to change this law within the state legislature, and it keeps failing because it keeps people from knowing what else happened. Now, maybe even some of the victims' families may not get a chance to learn about this because it's all surrounding what happened in that scene. And since the perpetrator is dead, they don't have to talk. And also, I saw extensive coverage of this, David. There was another part about this where after 2 years, then they're even allowed to destroy the evidence. So even it's not even in existence anymore. So if things change, maybe 5 years down the line, you're like, okay, we can get this information. Sorry, too bad, it's already gone.
So in other words, there's not much transparency in Texas, and now we're looking at the possibility of not much transparency in this horrific shooting. Never mind the fact that this guy, this police chief, his department, they stood outside the school. They're afraid of the gunman. This guy's afraid to talk to investigators. All the reporting is that he's not talking to them. He says, "Oh, well, we are talking to them," but he's not talking to the parents until they are done, until they quit their grieving. They're never gonna quit their grieving. They may somehow deal and find a way to move on with their life, but their grief never ends. And so this guy is making his hole even deeper. Every time he speaks, every time he addresses the media, he makes people hate him even more. And it underscores why this happened, that when you have a police chief who sets this kind of tone about, well, we don't need to talk to investigators and we don't have transparency and I don't need to talk to the parents, no wonder this was such a disaster.
Yeah, and it looks like by any means necessary, they could potentially try to continue to hide behind this. One more thing, you guys, graphic 6, because maybe it's an obscure rule, this dead suspect loophole, but it has been utilized decent amount of times. A 2018 investigation by Reason Magazine found 81 cases between 2003 and 2018 where police invoked the dead suspect loophole, so they do use it. An investigation by KXAN TV of the 21 largest police departments in Texas found the law invoked in 154 public information requests, over 52 in custody deaths. So they do use it. Hopefully these cops down in Uvalde will not. But from the looks of how they're trying to avoid talking about it, they just might. Hopefully they don't think about it. Why would they? Why would they not think about it? They're trying anything they can. Or maybe they'll have some respect for the victims' families and actually give them some answers.